Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. This is Starters Order 7, our US flat save, and we are continuing on the brand new season. We got some races booked. I'll walk you through that, but we are trying to look for a breeder. Nothing stood out. Like, I think we've kind of hit the two that we wanted to hit over the last couple of years, being Cold Quest and now Freelancer Emirati, and both seem to work out. So, yeah, now we're looking at it thinking, well, what can we do? Who's here that maybe we can breed from? And I was looking at the best of all time, basically. Uh, who's actually got the most money and whatnot. And I'm looking at group wins and just dominated by fillies. But if you come down to like the youngest game bred, and right there alongside Cold Quest for someone that's got similar sort of numbers, not quite high rating, not quite as many wins, but like very close to someone that we really do kind of think was a good horse. And that is Colkin Lock. And he is standing at Darley, Australia, which means we should be able to breed from him. But yeah, a good record, a huge number of wins, and I kind of think that should be our next stallion that we breed from. Little bits of money, good money, and he was the big breakout. So I'm thinking if we can find him, that's probably what we do. So I've looked here and I can't see him. Now he should be standing at auction. So he should be here somewhere, but I couldn't find him in that list. Again, I can't find him in this list. And he's got 16 Group 1 wins, so he should be up here with Cold Quest. And he should be here, but he's not here. So I feel kind of bad about that. I mean that those are his progeny stuff, so that's fine. But yeah, no, he's just not showing up, and there are some good horses in here. I'm just confused as to why he's not in here. So standing at Darley, Australia. So yeah, we got 3 horses. Okay. So for some reason his stats aren't showing up at all there, which is why I couldn't find him there. But when I searched by name, I don't think I came across him at all. Okay. A Ram Scoop and Corking Lock. That doesn't sound like a bad thing to me. And if I come down, yeah, he definitely doesn't seem to be on this screen. 100%. Dali America is the only thing that shows on that screen. Okay, so we will be breeding from this screen then. And like I say, it will be Dali, Australia. We'll be finding Corking Lock. Just seems to be the best of the bunch. And yeah, I'm going to be breeding in terms of age. So Ram Scoop first, Promise Princess second, Pastel Pure third, Consuela Blaze fourth, and then Life Quest last. And as we add more people to the breeding barn, then sure we'll kind of add them in order. But yeah, we got everybody set up in races. I think it's easy to see here. We got 4 races at Kenilworth, double in the main Chance Farms paddock. So 3-year-old and up, it's going to be a tough race, but it's a good horse. It's a mile 1, so we should be on distance. We do look okay. She looks like a decent horse. I think this is a big early test, and we'll kind of see what she's about. We don't usually pass these. It's usually a little bit more of a test than we can handle. Mysterious Trader again. The sun met. Actually, I should. The reason I came in this screen as well was to see the field. So, yeah, it's a tough field, headlined by Head there. That's going to be crazy. Titan Bloomer as well. Another really good one. And then the sun met over a mile 2, which again does suit our distance. We think we're good. Cora Blocker is actually going to be running in that one. And that's a horse that we know fairly well and who runs fairly well. Maybe hasn't won a ton. It's come close a reasonable amount of times and you know, has had some decent runs. But yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of others on the bottom end that I'm kind of worried about, but that might be too far. A little too much. Shy Prince. Nah. Shy Prince is the last one I booked. I found good races for everybody, and then I struggled because there wasn't anything else at a mile 1. So yeah, there wasn't much for Shy Prince at a mile 2 or a mile 1. So I decided to come down all the way to a mile and run the Queen Plate, which I was going to avoid because I had better races elsewhere. But we end up picking that to run for Shy Prince. And again, it's a good field, but not a great field, and definitely one I think we can win. Zarina is a solid horse who's run quite well, but ultimately, I don't think they're better than Shy Prince. So I think this could be one that we actually do take, and it's why I normally target it every season, because I think I've usually got a miler who can do with an early win in a decent race, and that's usually the race we choose. At the same time, at a mile 2, I got Mana Lurker. Now, part of me thinks Mana Lurker should probably be the horse that goes into the Queen's Plate. And we pull Shy Prince into this. I'll transport available. So you need to go into the Derby. Because that suits the distance better. I kind of booked Mana Lurker in a race I liked for them. But at the same time, now I just think that's... I just think that's a better race. Yeah, I think we stick with the Queen's Plate. So, okay. Yeah, double in the paddock with Head there and Titan Bloomer. A horse we do like. Mysterious Trader is another pretty good horse. Gonna run the Sunmet against Curra Blocker, Starbuck Gunner as the main two I'm gonna be looking at. Some good domestics too, but those are the two I'm probably gonna be looking at there. So Shy Prince, we're gonna take advantage of that stamina and run the Investigate Derby instead, which, yeah, we like Shy Prince, could end up being something. For sure, could end up being something. I know feels pretty good in that field. Don't think there's too much showing a threat. So, okay. I think that's a better fit. And we got Mana Lurker, who looks okay. And he will come with jockey instructions to run the Queen's Plate. He's a little closer to it in terms of distance. We know this, everything's okay. And yeah, him in a shorter race probably suits anyway. So I'm pretty happy with those, but you know, we've got good distances in general. And I think everybody kind of looks okay there. But we've got those booked in. Then on the 7th, we'll take Surfer Dude for a little maiden at Golden Gate. And then at Trentham, Noblesse Oblige, our first of our 3-year-olds. They're currently holding the mile. And they don't look bad. They don't look amazing. They don't look bad. We will be running jockey instructions. And kind of just seeing how they like the trip and everything else. So, a little turf in the Leven Classic, which we've run a bunch. Very, very hit and miss. And then back over there to Delta Downs. Linguini in a maiden, a horse that I'm hoping does something. I'm not sure. Easy Red as well. We'll get their maiden. I think I got 2 at 5 and 2 at 6. They just fit really well. I put the horse that needs the most time at the back end. But yeah, interesting 4-year-olds coming up. But really, between the 2 and the 3s, I don't know what the 2-year-olds are going to do. I think the 3-year-olds, I found every single one of them a good race. Either good distance, good going, good quality level, good competition level. I think we are slightly overmatched in a couple, but that's really how you test how good your horse is. You throw them against better horses. And that brings us to our winningest horse. Not our horse of the year. We've already looked at them, but yeah, Rainmaker. Another miler who I do think is going to jump in distance and do think will be in the mix for Triple Crown races, but we got the Stewards Cup at Chartin. And again, this does feel like a little more of a shorter order horse, but someone with more adaptability again that maybe could get the job done. I'm kind of happy there. And it's just a domestic field, a couple of grade ones, but no names that we know, nobody that I think we should be super, super scared of. I do think we're really going to have a pretty good time there. That'll see what kind of season we can set Rainmaker up for. And then on the same day, Pure Adventure. Okay, I don't know why that one was planned, and it should have been booked, if anything, but yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, Pure Adventure, I think, is a horse that definitely I feel could run the World Cup. We are under distance slightly, but we do have the adaptability, and we're a very good horse. So I did seriously consider it, but we do have a lot at the right distances. So I figured, why not just, take a moment, stick it at a mile, and just maybe dominate with Pure Adventure on a mile. we normally have a very good miler, and they are usually the leaders for us in terms of number of group wins. There's just so many at 7 furlong and a mile. I think we can win. We can sneak her up to a mile 1. We can sneak her to a mile 2. Yeah, I just think she'll work quite well. So we're keeping her at a mile. Institute Spy is about a mile 1, so we're going for a mile 1. Again, that confidence does worry me, but the Classic Cup, again, not the best of fields. Agincourt's coming across with us, and then Riley, the French horse Switzer. Riley is gonna be the favourite and should be the favourite, 100%. But I think Agincourt might give us a little more of a run in the actual race. But it should be us 3, so it's a good chance for Institute Spy to actually do something this year and maybe kind of make up for a disappointing year last year. So, not bad runs at all. And then on the 25th at Gulfsmith, I tossed and turned and weighed this. I kind of went back on my thinking. I decided kind of what I want to do, and then I changed it up and like, I don't know. Can I do this instead? Who am I going to run where? And then I decided I could just run them all 4 at Gulfstream and just send them all at the Pegasus World Cup and see whoever wins gets the other 2 runs. I fully at one point committed to it, and then I decided not to, and yeah, I knew a Pure Adventure can run at a mile. I know Institute Spy's probably not got the top end quality, and that confidence can be a big issue. So it was then a choice between whether or not to run Out Cold or Ice Queen, or whether to run both. And I decided that, yeah, Out Cold and a mile 2 is probably good. Right? We've seen that. We're probably good. We did really good at the Belmont. It almost took a Triple Crown. I mean, we're less than a length away from taking the Triple Crown. And we know we would have taken a Triple Crown. Not only that, but if we weren't so far off distance and only short-headed out, we would have taken one of the French Triple Crown legs as well. So, Arkansas Derby, Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, Belmont Stakes, the Pool Decide, the Polices, and then when we did stand up at a mile 2 again, the Vinery Stud was quite a nice race for us. And then the Satsuki Show, I think we did really well in. And it just gave me the belief that she can run. She looks good. She's performing. She's already got a lot of potential filled out, so she won't be going into it in a bad shape at all. She's got a little bit of cruising burst and the extra speed we kind of want. There's a couple of little bits and pieces we prefer with a little more kind of in hand. But with jockey instructions for the Pegasus, max out the potential, absolutely go and attack then Dubai and the Saudi Cup. And because the first 2 legs are on mile 1, with jockey instruction we'll be fine. And then the third one we can just run naturally. We've already got stamina, which suggests we should be there, and form, which suggests we should be at a mile 2. Because, yeah, Belmont was probably we wanted a mile 3. And the Polices, we should have been at about a mile 1.5, I would say. So I think we're somewhere in between a mile 2 and a mile 3. And we can just make it work a little lower. And I think that's perfect for Triple Crown. Now, for the rest of the season, I don't know who's getting what. Because, like I say, we've got a bunch of races we can split between all four, really, at a mile 1. So, Alcohol might stay at a mile 2. Ice Queen and Institute Spy splitting at a mile 1. Pure Adventure, 7 furlongs to a mile, just rack up the most amount of races. But then it was like, Ice Queen, do we go head to head with Out Cold? Very similar horses, similar ratings, similar records. 5-0 to Group 1s there. And Ice Queen, 6-1-0. But yeah, even though we do know that, again, we can run longer, it does kind of feel like we can go a little shorter too with Ice Queen. So instead of the World Cup, I'm going for the World Cup turf. We're going to try and attack both of them because we've got the 4-year-olds. We've got 2 great fillies. We've got 2 chances rather than just both going in one race. I figured we split them. Ice Queen may be a little hard done by, but also I felt was lower rated. I felt didn't have the distance for all 3 of the races as much as O'Cole did. But yeah, very difficult decision. But again, not having the cruising burst and having a little bit more extra speed, to me, says maybe a touch shorter. So keeping them towards a mile 1 is probably best. We can definitely get there. And yeah, we have been. And this shouldn't be too far. This should be just about the limitation for us. And so while the World Cup itself would have been probably bang on distance, a comfortable sort of run for us more than this will be, I didn't want to split up the World Cup races. So, yeah, we're attacking them both. But the rest of the season for these guys is just unbelievably unknown at this point. I could run them all and probably win so many races at a mile 1. A couple of them I do feel could easily run a mile 2. And Pure Adventure could probably run anywhere from 7 furlongs to a mile 2. Into the Spy is kind of the tricky one. But could come alive. We've seen them come alive on a 4-year-old season. You never know what's going to happen. So, yeah, kind of a weird mix of races. But that's our breeding. That's the idea there. These are the races we've booked in. And now I think we just start sending and seeing what happens. I'm not confident that I've got any of this booking right. I will say that much. I'm not confident I've got any of this right whatsoever. Double is good to run. Mysterious Trader is good to run. Shy Prince is good to run. Mana Lurker, good to run. Okay, so we're off to a decent start. Surfer Dude, good to run. Nobles Oblige, good to run. Linguini Cartel, good to run. Easy Red, good to run. Soul Speaker needs a little more work, and we've got 4 more days to get them there. That should be good. Rainmaker, good to go. Pure Adventure, good to go. Institute Spy, good to go. And then Ice Queen, Cold. Both good to go and got plenty of time anyway. But yeah, nice. Nice. Oh, do I want to commit to this? I don't know. Do I have to? No. Do I feel like I should? Probably, yeah. These were great 2-year-olds. If anybody's going to win in some of these tricky races, especially the Sun Met and the Paddock, like, they're both 3 and up. Yeah, this is only a 3-year-old race, but Shy Prince, like, who knows? These are in 3 and up, so they'll be a little trickier. We could easily lose all 3 of those. And then the Queen's Plate is always a little hit and miss, but I think Manaluk is a really nice horse that's going to be running with jockey instructions, of course, but I feel that's probably our best race, even though that's again 3 and up. I do feel this is really, really gonna be tough, but okay, Shy Prince will be the favorite. Best of a field that doesn't look super crazy. The Americans have come over for this one. Tycoon's Irene is the only tip toss. That's interesting. I don't love that. I also don't love that we're very calm. Everyone else looks okay. So, I don't love it. I think we run it clean. Mile 2, no jockey instructions, no issues. We are laid back. There's some good American horses. We don't know the domestics. They can always be a little issue. But we've gone to South Africa then. For the Cape Derby, Mile 2, Class 1, Grade 1, here at Kenilworth upon the turf. It's a 3-year-old race. I definitely think we can win. For those last 3 horses, Technohead, Daylights, Tycoon's Irene, and Barello Gulch, the 3 Americans. They're definitely going to be in the mix. We need to get ourselves in a good position early, and we get out of the gates quite well on this outside. We're going to drift back, but we are going to stay outside. Technohead Delights is up front with Barello Gulch just in the hole there. We got Ribrak Fein and Emilian Many just inside, and then we come into the rail to make it a tight and easy bend to run. A chance to be blocked off, though we know half a mile to go. Echoes Boast, Tycoon's Irene side by side. Irene's coming with us. Our Rossetti at the back. We have got a lane. 1.5 to go then. Gulch is starting to go for this. Barello Gulch in the final furlong. Technohead Daylights looks to have done maybe enough to kind of get into the mix here, but half a furlong from home, pushing through Shy Prince with a very nice run ahead of Technohead and Tycoon's Irene, 2 of the 3 that we were really looking for. Gulch was right there. It seemed like a really late run from us. It didn't seem like the best domestic field, so they kind of stayed out the way and let the Americans run. Gulch did okay. I just never felt that they were going to really challenge. Technohead did really well and then started dropping off, but also was able to hold on better than I thought they would. And Tycoon's Irene, I figured, might actually have a better push from the back. But when the chips were down right towards the end, Shy Prince was the one that actually kicked on the strongest and sustained. And yeah, we got up to our lead. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, my issue is, I don't know how good these horses are. I don't know. Could have won the Champagne. Comes fourth and goes from 104 rating to 111 rating. Technohead hasn't done too much so far. Hasn't been tested. This was the first big test. Good run, not great, but all the way up to 114 from 106, I believe. That's kind of another big jump. Tycoon's Irene, 8-point jump up to 115. Would have won if it wasn't for us. Won the Frisette. Won the Starlet. And was only beaten by a short head from Rainmaker. And they made the race of it. So this is the only one I'm kind of confident is a really good horse. I think this is a very good horse, and Gulch might be a good horse, maybe. But I don't know quite how good they are or how good they're going to be as 3-year-olds. We were calm. That would have affected us negatively. We did run well. 117 up to a 121. That's a 4-point jump for this race, which is low prize money because it's South Africa. They're usually low prize money. But that's our 5th Grade 1 win. I feel like that's a pretty good run. Yeah, when we learn more about the other horses, I think that might end up looking better than it feels to me right now. I don't really know right now. I don't really know. But yeah, that could end up being really, really good race for us. So it looks like we're kind of the same odds as Starbeck, who's good form, good horse, good rating, and then we're both behind the highest rated, which is, of course, Cara Blocker. So again, this could be a slightly weaker domestic field. Couple of nice horses for sure. But overall, maybe not the best. Maybe not the best. Yeah, I know a couple of horses in this field. Cara Blocker will be tipped, though we will pick up ourselves. They are slightly agitated. Sempre Blue is sweating badly. Starbeck's very calm. Himbook is sweating badly as well. Couple of unfit horses, and we're just looking okay. So, yeah, the 2 big horses to really worry about, I shouldn't worry about. It is a little bit of a jump in distance, but I believe we've got it in us. We're not the most developed horse right now. We've got a lot of way to go this season, a lot of work to put in. Again, I feel we're on distance. I feel like this is a bit of a test, but the paddocks kind of pulled things a little bit more our way. So staying here then, in South Africa, we do have the 1 mile to furlong Sun Met. Class 1, Grade 1 for 3-year-olds and older upon the turf at Kenilworth. Again, a good start, probably key here, especially in the middle of the pack. Just too much going on around. Looks like we're going to sit towards the outside initially. Then we're going to drop back. I was scared we were going to go right against the rail and really get blocked off. It still doesn't look good. But Ashley's Bliss up front with Starbeck, Gunner, Cara Blocker in the holes with Page, Thunder, and Quilla Clark, Symphonos Himbrook, Crimean Sizzler, Sempre Bleu, Shehab, Jade, and us then on the outside, about 3 furlongs from home round the turn. Jan Barbados and Kufani at the back. Looks like a lot of us are going to go. And we're coming then down to the final furlong marker. And we're right up there. We do seem to have dropped off a little bit. Now, does Trader have a push in them to kind of compete? It doesn't look like it. Trader's going to drop back. Quilla Claire, a horse that I'd almost kind of highlighted because the game did seem to be favouring them for some reason. I didn't see why. But, yeah, Gunner, a good run. Cara Blocker just wasn't there. Shabab Jade, that's such a good run. That might be the run of their life. But Quilla Claire, I knew was a Grade 1 winner. I knew was kind of being sent up to be one of the favourites in this. I didn't really know what they were going to do. But they were favoured. They were quite high rated. Yeah, that didn't feel good. That didn't feel right. And even though this should mean somewhere around a mile 2, we'd never tested over a mile. We don't have any adaptability. We do look like more of a shorter distance might suit our skill set a tiny bit more. And yeah, I feel like that's more of a mile one horse, the way we ran that too. Yeah, that's interesting. So 114 was held. That's at least something we didn't drop rating. I was kind of fearful that we would. But even then, Claire didn't gain. Jade didn't even break into 100. Ghana, Sizzler, Himble. Yeah, nobody gained or lost much. Cora Blocker's the one that did kind of pay for it. Trip appeared to suit well. Yeah, I think we're more mile one, maybe mile 1.5 or mile 1.25. That's more the way I would expect a horse of that distance to run. So someone with like stamina down here, not up here, but yeah, again, we've done over a mile in this race, so I feel this isn't too much of a jump. This is, pretty much where we want to be. Another good horse. Definitely doesn't seem like a very distance horse, so mile one might suit. Both horses did okay at this distance. The field looks really, really good. Probably the best field we're going to run against. And even though ratings-wise it's not the highest, I do think Head There is the best horse we have raced against. Because Bloom last season was great, and Dare last season was great. They're coming back after last year. Titan Bloomer is also an absolute fantastic horse, and could have racked up even more wins. So, yeah, this one I'm not as confident that we have a realistic shot. I think we've done okay in one, and then not so great in one. That how it's going to go, and then we'll be good in one, and then maybe not so great in one. We're just going to bounce up and down all year, maybe. But we need to figure it out, because we need to know who our Triple Crown runners are going to be. We need somebody to step up, and Double Double has a chance. Has a chance. I think we just go in a paddock then. Main Chance Farms paddock, mile 1, grade 1, class 1 race for 3-year-olds and older upon the turf track. Like I say, Head There, Tyson Bloomer, the 2 mega horses. The other 4 are just really good. It's a big test for a double here at Kenilworth, South Africa. On the turf track, we're going to get out of the gates okay, and then just dwell a little bit at the rear alongside World's Venture and Head There. You can see Mag's Branches coming in there just alongside them. Colors Stocks in third. Nausicaa Success in behind Tyson Bloomer. You should see Head There start to make a move, and we should be with them. Instead, it's Nausicaa getting up, and then we start coming up. Then Head There starts coming up. And in the final furlong, it would take an absolute rocket ship for us. Heads There's not even going to get there. It's all Tyson Bloomer. Color Socks ran a very good race. Fair play to them. Yeah, they go up to a 118. That's really good. Tyson holds 125. Head There holds 128. Max Branches holds 117. We hold 110. It's not the worst result. It's not the worst race. We didn't have that final punch. It's a really tough place to go win, unless you got a bad field, which is usually the Queen's Plate at a mile, which is why it's the early race that we do. But yeah, big test against older horses, and not only older horses, but some of the best possibly that have run a mile 1 in Head There. possibly ever in this save. In all these 13, 14 years that we've been running this save. Maybe top 3 at a mile 1 of game bred. So, yeah, it's an absolute dominant horse. And he was beaten by a couple of others that ran really well. And we weren't far behind any of them. So, maybe that's a good sign. Moving towards the crown races, maybe that's a good sign. The Mana Lurker. Yeah, not going to be on distance, but a very good horse that should be favourites. Us and Zarina are favoured in this one for sure. Again, though, not the worst field in the world. I think there's a couple of high-rated domestics. There's a Grade 1 domestic as one of them. It is, again, older horses. Us and Reading off of Steam. I wouldn't have expected them to have been highlighted that much. They are carrying condition, as is Ubekno Elmo. Bona Dawn is very calm. So, yeah, maybe this is a little more of a danger than I thought. Wouldn't be surprised if we are the top 3 for sure. But yeah, we are a little over distance, so I'm going to challenge earlier. That's going to give us maybe a touch more pace. We just don't know what these horses are actually going to do. This could be, a demon over a mile, which it seems to be a very solid horse over a mile. It could have won another one. But it's also, won a 2-year-old race, and then it's won a couple of fillies only races, which it's been running in a lot. So I don't know what this horse really is all about. And Zarina, similarly, like being competitive, being a good horse, but maybe more of a 7-furlong horse. Maybe. We haven't seen it a ton tested at a mile. We haven't seen it tested in Grade 1s a lot. But it did take the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. And that's, not the most tricky race. I think it's definitely a winnable race. Was probably not the favourite for it, but ran quite well. I can tell it for the favourite. No, was the favourite for it. Okay. I wouldn't have expected it to be the favourite, but ran it quite well. Almost took a Group 1 handicap too, so it could be an extra Group 1. I think this is a good horse, not a great horse. I'm a little more worried now about Off of Steam. But I do think that we should be in for a chance here as well. But that's the thing. I think we're in with a chance of things. I just don't know how many of these are going to be big. So, Lomron's Queen's Plate, Class 1, Grade 1 here at Kenilworth. On the turf track for 3-year-olds and older, over the mile. A good domestic, reading Off of Steam, and the favourite, Zarina, double from the USA. Like us, we are the form horse, we are the best horse. And the grey is away on the inside decently, but we don't love going straight towards the front. We just tuck in behind Zarina, Double, and Corsican Bellouette on its inside. We're reading Off of Steam just on the outside of Bona Dawn, right in behind us. Dapteria Sivola, Ubenka Elmo, just in picture, and Braddock, Music Master, not really there. We need to find a lane to run. We finally do. We're going to move just alongside Off of Steam, chasing down Zarina. Final half a furlong. None of us really have what it takes to get up. But Off of Steam is going to be the one just to pip Zarina. Looking at the horses, looking at what they did, where they'd run, what they'd kind of managed to do so far, I did think it was a slightly better horse. I said to go early. We didn't really go early. We didn't seem to have that punch to get forward enough. There wasn't any burst. There wasn't any late finish. It's very tough, very tough test. Yeah, we come in third. We still gain a rating point, which shows Rena jumps up to a rating of Steam, picks up 3. So, yeah. Not a bad race. Not a bad set of races. Again, it's 3-year-olds running early season in South Africa against older horses. None of that normally does anything. Head there is going to double down on the day. Going to run the Mallorca and win that kind of handily too. I do wish the game punished this more. Like the double dipping, I feel is just horrendous behavior. Horrendous behavior. But yeah, we didn't get the results maybe that we wanted. But I don't think any of these were bad runs. So Mysterious Trader, I don't think it was a great run. We finished outside the money. But the fact we didn't lose rating means we didn't underperform. So I think even our worst results, same here in the paddock, like 2 really good horses and then 2 just older horses that were higher rating. And again, just holding our rating, coming in 5th and 6th. I do feel like those weren't bad performances. They weren't amazing runs, sure. They weren't great results, sure. But we're going to have much easier races than that. And I don't feel really that we were embarrassed. 3.8 and 4? Yeah, so never close to like being back of the pack, never close to being double digits behind. I've had a lot of horses that go on to win Triple Crowns and compete for 140s that probably end up the same distance behind in those kind of fields, in that country, in those races. See, I don't mind that. I think. I don't mind that. Manalurka, again, were beaten by the 2 horses we should have been beaten by. Again, older horses. We were so close. We just didn't have that kick. And we're far from being fully developed. We've still got a long way to go. But I'm kind of impressed at being off distance in that kind of company as well. That we got as close as we did. So that's quite nice. And then Shy Prince, a horse that we knew could be good. We didn't know quite what he was going to do. He's been a bit hit and miss in places. But he then comes in and wins at a mile 2 in South Africa. Now, there was the only 3-year-old race. We've got to take that into account. But we highlighted Daylights as a pretty good horse, but Irene as the main threat. And that's how it all played out. And we still won by about a mile. We came in from behind and kind of held, we pulled back the leader. We fought off a charge from Gulch that died at the line. And then we fought off Irene, who was a closer, was coming on really strongly. We held them off. So while being calm, the only thing we don't know about Shy Prince is if that was against horses such as the others were running against, some of the older horses. I don't know quite what that would look like. But for me, I'm very happy that the race we probably should have had the best chance of winning, we won. In a very good field, Manaluka picks up a very nice and close third. And then against some really good horses, Trader and Dubs both come where you'd kind of expect them to if they were a good horse. So it's definitely not the best, but it's not the worst. I will say that. At auction, absolutely nothing. Golden Gate Fields for Surfer Dude. And he picks up a win. 6 furlongs. Wasn't the best track. Okay, he's almost at 75 potential after his maiden. I don't know where he started. Yeah, not my favorite. Not my favorite 2-year-old ever. Just got up. Came from behind. Okay, so Pacemaker ran green and dropped off. And there's a 3-way fight. We're all coming from deep. Kareem was stalking. Mischief was in behind in the hole, probably third, fourth, fifth, kind of tight at that point with us. But we did really come from the back and pull through and pull clear. Half a length on both that were laid back. I don't know. Yeah, I was going to win. This was ideal. Okay, we can start testing them and see at least. I know, Trentham, New Jersey. Wow, New Jersey. I mean, there is one. It's where my head always goes. Trentham, New Zealand is what I was trying to say. And now, for the first time, I think we're running a race we should be favorite for. We should be favorite for. Not going to get it all our own way, but yeah, we are overwhelmingly tipped with Bond, the other American, also slightly tipped, looking okay. Henri Roll from France, slightly agitated. Couple of unfit, one very calm domestic leading. Realization was me, the only domestic that looks well and is also the horse with the poorest form. Like, this should just be us. Like, this should just be us. We got a lot of adaptability, which means we can also go jockey instructions and just send Noblege Oblige full bore at this one. Being said, Institute Spy won this fairly comfortably last year and didn't really get much done. It's definitely a slightly better field this year. Not by a ton, but a better field this year. So I think if we win by 2, I'll feel fairly comfortable with this. So Woodridge Homes Leaving Classic, the 1 mile Class 1 Grade 1 race for 3-year-olds upon the turf here today at Trentham. And again, we are just really good, and we should be the horse. We get off to a decent start on the outside, and we will go towards the front early before dropping back into the pack. That's normally a good sign. Going to stalk in behind to keep to Bond. You got Realization was me, the only domestic horse that didn't look bad in the paddock half a mile from home. We've got Elry and Hawker right in behind us with Henri Roll and Caras Tomby, the Grade 1 domestic, at the back. Coming into things now then, the fight for the line, and here comes the Frenchman, Henri Roll, driving with us, catching us on the home stretch. We have the lead by about a length in the final furlong. Henri Roll, though, just has more pace than us. At the line, Noblesse Oblige refuses to lose. That final burst, that punch, that power, that desire, gets over the line, takes the Frenchman, and says, no, no, no. And I am pretty happy with that run. I feel we held off everybody quite well. We ran quite well. The horses I would have expected to have been good were good. I gotta say, I didn't think Henri would be as much of a threat there as they were. I will say they had a great turn of power towards the end. They drove really well. They were just quicker than us at their cruising speed the entire way. But when it came to it, right up the line, that final quarter of a furlong, Noblesse Oblige said his initial. No. Fought, dug deep, got up, got on, got out, dominated, and kept that perfect record going. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely crazy. One is maiden, one a grade 3, both while being calm. Then goes to South Africa and wins a grade 1 sprint. Goes to Australia to pick up the Golden Slipper, which is a massive race for a 2-year-old. Goes over to France and does really well in another sprint and wins that. And then opens up the 3-year-old season by taking the Living Classic in New Zealand. So Southern Hemisphere, we're 3 from 3 in grade 1s. Maybe that Scottsville one, a slight asterisk for that. I mean, yeah, I think all races there, the jockeys don't really wear silks. They wear fancy dress as poles. Because they all look around like they're going around on a bloody merry-go-round. So maybe we can't read into this one as much. But yeah, 4 different destinations, 4 trips abroad, 3 the other side of the world, and a tough trip to France. Remains unbeaten, 6 from 6. Went into the field as well fairly early. Has a chance, I think, with that distance adaptability to really be something interesting. So we didn't win as comfortably or as impressive margin as I would have liked and I kind of expected. But I feel we were pushed to our limit and we didn't buckle. I'm kind of thinking a little more about Noblesse Oblige now. They were the horse of the year last year as a 2-year-old. Yeah, that's very, very interesting to me. That is so interesting to me. I've always had Rainmaker as our best 2-year-old and probable best 3-year-old, and with a Triple Crowns in mind, but It's mainly because Oblige did bits and then went into the barn and didn't run as much. I'm now starting to wonder, but those two, they do seem to be absolutely fantastic, to be fair to them. Lingualini Cartel. Please win 5 furlongs. We're a little laid back and calm. Still win 2 3/4. Looks okay. So, one of our 6 furlongs, one of our 5 furlongs, they have won. Yeah, she just needs a couple of good runs and we'll be good. Don't mind that. And the second of our maidens today at Delta Downs, Easy Red. Please run green. Please have run green. Run green and come within 3, I'll be happy. Ran green and inside 2. Just, yeah. Okay, panic over. Panic over. Don't know about the distance, but again, she just needs a tiny little jump. She will come good. Yeah, for running green, that's probably a pretty big win. Yeah, okay. Don't need to overthink that one. Soul Speaker. Please win. Please win. Let me get my 3 maiden wins on that run green. It's both 5 furlongs win. One of our 6 furlongs wins, and we had a little green run. 4.5 lengths back as a closer, I think they said. Yeah, ridden as closer. Okay, so I got my distances right. We did run green. This could be a monster miler. This could be a monster miler. I mean, you got Tidal Force. Just absolutely fantastic. 17 Group 1 wins. You can see, though, so many seconds and thirds in here that could have easily have turned around in our favor. This could easily be in a 25 Grade 1 winner. Absolutely fantastic. Father of Mysterious Trader and Rainmaker. We really, really like Tidal Force. And then High Life, which gave us Life Quest, who of course ends up at 20 Grade 1 wins, but could easily have been 25. High Life with only 10 Grade 1 wins, but a good, solid horse. Good money, good wins, good breeding. Both 7.25, 7.5, both towards that mile place. And that's kind of why the indicator is at 7, but I think 7 furlongs to a mile can easily fill this potential out. And then we'd be, what, 86 ability with a 3-year-old jump on top. Like, that could just be a monster 3-year-old miler, 4-year-old miler. With good extra speed, doesn't need a ton of cruising burst over 7 furlongs to a mile. Confidence isn't too bad. Enthusiasm isn't great, but isn't crazy. Consistency, 50%. Like, there's definitely issues with this, but you can also see how this horse could end up being an absolute demon over a mile. So yeah, 3 maiden wins, ran green. The 3-year-olds with some very interesting runs, but Obligé winning to stay perfect, Shy Prince winning as well. Those are the 2 3-year-old only races. And then against the older horses, Manaluka are very impressive. Mysterious Trader and Double Double did nothing to harm themselves, in my opinion. I feel pretty good about those runs too, even though they weren't the best results wise. And then that leaves us Rainmaker to come in the next one, because we are going to end things here. But pressure's on Rainmaker now to keep ahead of Nobles Obligé and overturn that 2-year-old horse of the year snub, as I felt it might have been. But yeah, I mean, the question does then remain, do they have it in them? It's a 3-year-old and up, but not a great field. It's Shatin, which is much easier to run than South Africa. I think big questions await her. And then the 4-year-olds come out and play, and we'll see if we've got that right as well with the World Cup as part of that mix. So, yeah, let me know how you feel about those races. Do you agree or disagree with me, especially on the 5th and 6th place for the 3-year-olds? I think context and kind of, just being fair to them all has to count for a lot. But let me know if you do agree or disagree. Do like and subscribe if you already haven't. That would be absolutely massive for the channel. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, check out the other playlists. Check out the memberships. And I'll see you soon as we head to those World Cup races. A little trip just before then, but out cold and Ice Queen. The Pegasus World Cup and the Pegasus World Cup Turf. The duo are gonna go attack things, so I hope you'll be here to see it. And I'll see you then. Till such time, take care, stay safe, all the very best. Who's your favourite? Let me know, because I think my order on some of these horses is changing quickly.